Hey, can I ask you something?
Well,
What's forget about it? What is it?
forget about it. It's like, if you agree with someone, you know, like Raquel Welch's One Great Piece of Ass, forget about it. But then, if you disagree, like a Lincoln is better than a Cadillac, forget about it. You know? But then, it's also like if something is the greatest thing in the world, like Mingiro's peppers, forget about it, you know? But it's also like saying go to hell, too. Like, you know, like, hey, Bully, you got a 1-inch pecker, and Bully says, forget about it.
Forget about it. Paulie, forget about it.
Sometimes it just means forget about it.
All right. Thank you very much. I got it.
Let me tell you something. I don't get this boat for lefty. What?
Forget about it?
Fucking forget about it.
The words hideous kinky, said multiple times throughout the film by the energetic sisters, is simply just a wordplay that expresses things in various contexts. Like Johnny Brasco explaining what forget about it could mean, it just shows that it can mean so many things, depending on what is talked about. Here, hideous kinky, or even kinky by itself, is a girl's way to communicate aspiration on what is happening concerning their young mother and how it's going to reflect on them. Hideous can describe the harsh realities of their lives in Morocco that include the financial hardships, their mother's intentions, and their general sense of chaos and uncertainty when it comes to living hand to mouth, whilst the mother pursues spiritual enlightenment. The kinky part of the phrase would refer to the unusual nature of their family life, the unconventional mother-daughter relationship, which is criticised by Charlotte, and their own desires and fantasies, such as normalcy in going to school, having a father figure, and even Julia's physical desires with Bilal. We hear it at the beginning of the film, almost like muttering or mantra, like a willingness to connect to something or to calm oneself down. And then at the end, an exclamation of sorts from one person they loved in a way to another, like a farewell in a language that both can understand. It can mean many things, a phrase like no other that only the sisters and the mother can say to each other with confidence in its multiple meanings.
What the hell is that?
The black hands, first heard of in the stories the sisters tell each other, seem to lead to a subtle acceptance to the chaos around each other. They find it more thrilling to tell scary stories with Julia looking on with a worried expression. We later see in a playful narration of shadow puppets where the black hand envelops Bee as she twirls in circles covering her face and screaming, much to the amusement of everyone. But when we see Bee grasping her throat and fainting, it comes true. The black hand, even in Julia's dreams, represent the suppressed danger around them, the source of terror and nightmares. Julia also often dreams of her children screaming, them trying to find her, and Julia herself trying to find Bee. It's all an underlining message of the reality. It's dangerous for them to be here, but here they are. The ideals that Julia is trying to find has them living hardships and relying on unreliable characters to make ends meet. The freedom is here, but in London, although under dark skies with a disillusionment of no spiritual mending, at least there is security and normalcy that Bee is desperately trying to find. As RogerEbert.com puts it, Hideous Kinky is not a melodrama or a thriller, and it doesn't need villains. It's the record of a time when idealism led good-hearted seekers into danger. Julia, the mother, is not a saint, but nor is she a villain. She's a sincere good person, but not very perceptive or smart. She doggedly pursues her dreams and drags her unwilling children along. She makes dolls to sell around the marketplace and gets angry remarks from other women confused in the language barrier. With Lucy wanting normalcy in the family unit and Bee wanting it through herself and going to school, we find the sisters' subtle battle with their mother, and it's only through their conversations that does their truths manifest. What's interesting is this need for normalcy coming from their eldest daughter. Bee seems to possess all the wisdom that her mother is desperately trying to seek. With examples shown in her observations of Bilal basically being a criminal on the run, and her asking point blank that Bee should stay with Charlotte whilst her mother and sister go to Algiers. But why does she want to stay with Charlotte? It might be the instant connection and the concerns of an Englishwoman still acting like an Englishwoman in a foreign country, very different to Julia, who seeks the ways of the Sufi and even prays in moments of reflection on the ground. Julia respects their traditions and wholeheartedly wants to become part of it, but Bee does not. And her sister Lucy, even younger, has simpler thoughts of food or comfort that she was used to in England. Conflicts are always there between the mother and the daughter, and when it comes to Bee basically stating she wants to stay, Julia gives in, walking away hurriedly to perhaps not entirely show her sadness in Bee's decision. The whole thing is wrong, sure, but Julia perhaps let her go to give Bee a chance to find things out for herself. And once the household broke up, Bee was left paired with a Christian woman in an orphanage, with the woman lovingly saying that Bee is her little orphan helper, even though Bee's mother is sitting opposite them. The rage that has Julia yelling at the Christian woman shows Bee that she's wanted after all, and that things are slowly changing. But was it enough?
And children?
Yes, 2.
And they are here with you?
1 is.
And your husband?
Yes, he lives in London.
So you are apart?
Yes.
And you still have a feeling of love for this husband?
Actually, he's not my husband. And yes. Yes, I do. Sorry. Sorry. This is a bit of a surprise.
Tears are for memory. They are a gift from God. Without them, how could we remember ourselves? Let alone remember him.
Not ready, am I?
It's interesting to note that attraction that Julia has about the annihilation of the ego and the fact there is a school dedicated to teaching it to those who are willing and ready. It's a term of an ego death, to which ego is presented as an accumulation of thoughts and emotions, and its death is the feeling of being a separate entity from oneself. It's about repressing many things in order to gain heightened spiritual enlightenment and be closer to the divine. I can imagine this is a difficult thing to accomplish, hence why there's a place to practice and become one under the tutelage of a Sufi master. But Julia's obsession with this leads to her sudden understanding through being honest with herself, that she is not ready. Why? Because she still loves her cheating husband, who is later revealed to really not be her husband. These feelings can only go away through self-reflection, but Julia's need for an immediate spiritual awakening has led to this conclusion. It doesn't happen overnight. And the fact that she's been ignoring it for the quest of something else shows she's been running away from her problems all along. There's this need for identity, self-reliance, but lacking the self-preservation. There are times Julia acts younger, like leaving Bee behind when travelling to Algiers, and then as a mother when shouting at Bee at the office that she is her mother. A show of rage rather than acceptance presents this explosion of perhaps taking some responsibility for her mistakes, gathering everyone up and making better judgments. Her identity comes first as a mother, and this horrible moment of Bee missing leads to her wanting to be better, hence the need to go back to where it's comfortable and known, the cheap hotel, to gather their thoughts and begin again. It's only through Bilal's selfless act that they have a chance for a better life. Bilal's involvement was orchestrated by the girls, more Lucy, because of the need for a surrogate father figure in their lives. We can tell that their father isn't really a good one, what with the parcel for Christmas being for his darling other family. But what is wonderful is that Bilal is willing. He shows that he wants to be with Julia, and the children are part of the deal. And he's such a doting father figure that Lucy follows him around, even pretending to dress like a boy so she can hang out with him and the men when they are at Bilal's village. He has good intentions, but the way he goes about it is somewhat not so much. He quits his jobs, steals, and allegedly leaves his wife behind, which is considered sinful in nature. Bilal is a wanderer, which is not good for the girls who need stability, and yet he sells his uniform to make money for all 3 of them to get out and return to London, understanding that his way of life, perhaps he himself, is not good enough. What with a little trip away, which Bee saw as him hiding from the authorities, Bilal's intentions of God will provide has the girls vomiting and getting sick. They need to grow up. And with the sickness comes the seriousness of the situation. They needed to grow up, Bilal especially. And the only way he could do that is to let them go, and love memories he got to have of them, shouting the message only they would understand, the catchphrase of Hideous Kinky as his ultimate goodbye and good luck, marking his importance in their lives forevermore. What are your thoughts on what was discussed in this episode? Comment and let me know to open up a conversation. Like and subscribe for more content of this nature, and come talk to me on Twitter or Instagram. Better yet, support the show on my Patreon to help a creator such as myself with learning on the go. Each like, each comment, each subscriber fuels the motivation I need to make better and better content for yours truly. Come say hi, and thanks for watching.